Wow, guys, it has been a while, and so I've already received my punishment for taking so long to get back to YouTube because I just recorded an entire 21-minute session here, and I forgot to turn the mic recording on. So this is take number 2. I am already suffering now. So hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I know it's been a long time. Yes, I went on hiatus for December and January. I decided I was going to take most of December off from YouTube just for the holidays. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. The holidays is always a busy time of the year for me. And then January, I just had a lot of personal commitments. I had a lot of places to be and a lot of things I had to do in my life. I think I'm just becoming a real adult now. Didn't have enough time to make a YouTube video, but I finally found some time to make a video, and I'm very excited about that because there is something I've been wanting to talk about for weeks, and I really wish I could have made a video earlier when it actually came out. But a couple weeks back, we finally, after like so many goddamn years, it feels like, I don't know, it's been at least two years, possibly even 3 years, but we finally got a trailer for the upcoming Overlord movie. I couldn't be more excited for this. I mean, it looks awesome. Did anyone else watch the trailer? I saw it, and it looks like Overlord, but it looks like it has like a fresh coat of paint on it or something. Maybe it has a higher budget, you know, but it looks like it has some nicer animation than the anime. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So I wanted to make this video discussing the upcoming Overlord movie because there is a lot of information I think you need to know about this just because of how they decided to adapt season 4 and also where this movie takes place like chronologically in the Overlord timeline. It is a little confusing, so I wanted to make this video to provide some background information and also to discuss some things about the movie. So I guess the biggest thing I could start off this video with is that this upcoming Overlord movie is going to adapt volumes 12 and 13 of the light novel, and it's a little bit weird as to where it takes place in the timeline because of how season 4 was adapted. Something to know is that every season of the Overlord anime has adapted 3 volumes of the light novel. So season 1 was 1, 2, and 3, season 2 was 4, 5, and 6, and so on. However, season 4 did it a little bit differently. Season 4 adapted volumes 10, 11, and 14. I mentioned this in my season 4 videos, but I wanted to reiterate here with this new movie information. The reason for why they did that is because, in the main Overlord story of the anime up to this point, most of the events have taken place in the Riestes, Baharuth, Slain Theocracy area. If you look at like an actual map of the New World of Overlord, all those countries are like very, very close together, and it's like in the border areas of those countries is where most of the events have taken place in the anime at this point. Most of the events were taking place there during the early parts of season 4 as well. There were events in the Baharuth Empire. There were events in the former Irantel, which is now the capital of the Sorcerer Kingdom. It's in that general part of the world. Volumes 12 and 13 take place in an entirely separate part of the world called the Roble Holy Kingdom. Now, I have an entire video detailing things about the Roble Holy Kingdom. If you guys want to watch that, I will leave a link to it or a card, right here. You guys can check that out. It is spoiler free from the light novel. I don't go into any of the plot of the movie, so if you want to watch it, you are safe to do so. So because I have a whole video talking about the Roble Holy Kingdom, I'm not going to explain it in this video, but basically it's like a pretty isolated country in the New World. It's kind of like just on its own. It has like a wall blocking off its main land border. It's a peninsula, so it's pretty much all by itself, and the events of volume 12 and 13 take place in that part of the world. It's an entirely separate section of the New World that this takes place in. They kind of just cut that part of the story out and just jumped ahead in the timeline to the events of volume 14 in season 4 of the anime. And they mention the Roble Holy Kingdom a few times in the beginning parts of the volume 14 content of season 4. Something happened there, and like the whole thing that steamrolled the plot of the volume 14 content was Philip attacking aid sent from the Sorcerer Kingdom to the Roble Holy Kingdom based on the events of what happened in 12 and 13. I remember watching the episodes where this started, like I think it was episode 8 and 9. I remember thinking like, man, this is going to be confusing for anyone who hasn't like read 12 and 13 and like knows what went on. Like, because they keep making references, and like literally the whole plot of the 14 stuff like was started by events that took place in 12 and 13. I did think it was a little weird that they decided to do that, but it also made sense because the 14 content is back in the previous part of the world that we were in before. So it makes sense that they would just cut it out and make it into its own separate movie. Where you can see this taking place, where this movie is supposed to be taking place, at least in the light novel chronology of Overlord, is in between season 4, episodes 7 and 8. It is right in between those two episodes. So like in your mind, when you're watching it, you can just be like, okay, this takes place after the dragon stuff and the dwarves, but before everything with Philip goes down. Another thing to talk about is the fact that, yeah, this movie is adapting 2 whole volumes worth of content. I have to say, I don't think they're quite my favorites. I still think volume 14 takes the cake for my favorite volume of the Overlord light novel, but volumes 12 and 13 are definitely in the upper echelon of the Overlord light novels 14. I love those volumes. It is a very long story. They're both like basically part 1, part 2 of this one story in 12 and 13. But something I heard about the upcoming Overlord movie is that they will have to cut events, which I knew that was going to be the case, unfortunately. I mean, if you think about it, they adapted like 2 volumes in season 4, volumes 10 and 11. They adapted those into 7 episodes. They haven't released a runtime for the movie yet, but most anime movies typically run somewhere between like 90 minutes or so. And most anime episodes, if you don't count openings and endings, are like 20-ish minutes. So that's like 4 or 5 episodes worth of content in the movie. And I already thought it was fast when in season 4 they did volumes 10 and 11 in 7 episodes. I already thought that was crazy that they were able to condense a volume down to 3 episodes. So by doing it in this movie format, if it is around 90 minutes, they're condensing a whole 2 volumes into 5-ish episodes. Even if it goes to 2 hours, you know, that's 120 minutes. That's like 6 episodes, really. So, I mean, that's still less than what they did 2 volumes of in season 4. So unless they make like a Christopher Nolan Einsenheimer or something like that, this movie is going to be, you know, shorter than even 7 episodes worth of content that we got in season 4. So just doing the math, I knew they had to cut something out because I've said this a million times, guys, but so many pages of the Overlord light novel is just internal dialogue. And to be honest, that wouldn't really translate that well to like an anime. It would just be sitting there thinking for 5 minutes at a time, and because it's just pages and pages of internal dialogue. And that's usually the main stuff that I focus on in my breakdown videos like I did in season 4 and like I've continued and will continue to do so for season 1. Most of the stuff that I talk about comes from the background narration of the internal dialogue and stuff. I really hope they just get most of the big events. I really don't want to get into spoilers because I want that to be your decision. If you want to, you know, figure it out, you can read the light novels yourself, or if you just want to wait for the movie, you can. Guys, some really crazy stuff happens in 12 and 13. It is. I'm so excited to see it animated because, you know, I've read the light novels. I know what happens, but I'm just really excited to see it brought to life. I can't wait. So yeah, unfortunately, that's just not the world we live in. We're not going to get a perfect one-to-one adaptation, but then again, that's kind of been par for the course for Overlord as an anime series. They just cut things out left and right, and it's left us to fill in the blanks, but that's what I'm here for. I definitely plan to make a video like my other videos that I've done comparing the light novel to the Overlord movie once it comes out. I do plan to make a video on that stuff. As a matter of fact, I'll probably make several because it is going to be, like I said, you know, much longer. So I'll probably just make it like, I'll maybe make like 3-4 videos about the movie, just talking about, you know, things that we were missing out on. But I'm definitely still excited. I'm still excited to see these events brought to life because, like I said, guys, these are 2, maybe not quite my favorite volumes. My God, the camera keeps freaking, can you focus in, please? Anyway, back to what I was saying. These aren't, I wouldn't say they're my favorite. I think volume 14 takes the cake for my favorite light novel volume, but they're definitely in the upper echelon of Overlord light novel volumes to me. So I'm just excited to see them brought to life. And also, I think for anyone that hasn't read the light novel, this is going to be a new country in the world. Like this country has not been shown at all in the Overlord anime. We have no scenes that take place there. It's mentioned a few times, but like I said, this movie is going to grow the world of Overlord for the anime onlys very, very big. And the Roble Holy Kingdom is just really interesting. So like I said, guys, I will leave a link to my Roble Holy Kingdom explained video in the description if you guys want to check that out. Like I said, there are no plot spoilers in that video, so if you want to watch it and you're not looking to be spoiled, you can watch it safe. It's gonna be fine. Because the teaser trailer was so short, there's really nothing to analyze, break down. It's just a very short thing with Demiurge being evil, which is his calling card. So, you know, whatever. But I did want to make this video to give you guys the information I think you need before you go into this, because of the weird kind of configuration of the content and how it was adapted, and like, oh, I watched season 4, but this takes place before season 4, but where are we, what's going on? It is a little confusing, so I wanted to make sure everyone understood before we started this movie. I'm just so excited. So they still haven't committed to a release date yet, but we do know it's coming out this year, so luckily I don't have to wait any more than a year to see this movie finally. I mean, damn, like, all we got was like some art, I think, over like the past like 2 years. Like, they announced this thing in like 2021, 2022. It's been a long time since they announced this thing, and like, we're just now getting like, this is the year it'll come out. They still want to commit to a date, but like, now they're telling us like 2-3 years down the line, like, hey, this is the year it's coming out now finally. But better late than never, I guess. Are you excited for the upcoming Overlord movie? I'm sure everyone in the Overlord community, all of us, I don't know about you guys, I've been dying for more content to absorb in the Overlord anime, so I'm very, very excited. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I always want to hear from you guys. Of course, I also plan to continue with my Overlord Season 1 volume breakdowns, so if you want to see more of those, please hit that like button to let me know. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out more than you know, and it'll let you know when I post in the future. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching to the very end of the video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!